Haunted doll or trigger object? What happened with Shana and Zara the Zombie Doll?
It was just really sad. My throat started closing up.
Welcome to Friday Night Ghost Frights. I'm author and ghost historian Mike Ricksecker.
And I'm Shana Wonkel.
Explore with us. This past Saturday, Society of the Haunted conducted an impromptu paranormal investigation of the haunted Mineral Springs Hotel. We've investigated there many times before, experiencing a plethora of paranormal activity. But this time we are following up on an incident that happened back in June during the Haunted Road Media Paracon with a spirit that we've come to know as Molly. And we brought along Zara the Zombie Doll.
How I met Molly was very unexpected. We had been up inside that room that I met her in many times and had even heard my name one time. It was very hot, very humid up there. All of a sudden we were sitting there doing some question and answer, and I felt some different energy in the room. And also going through my head, I felt the name, or I felt the letter M. And don't know where it came from, but I went with it. So I asked, does your name start with M? And the energy in the room definitely shifted, definitely stronger. And I got a poke on the arm, and kind of unexpected. Inside my mind is kind of different things swirling around, and then the name Molly comes into my head. So I decided to go with that, and I'm getting chills just talking about it right now. So I said, is your name Molly? And then the next thing I know, I got this really hard grab on my arm, like a series of grabs. And this energy just comes in from my right side and just almost bowls me over. And to the point where I jumped into Mike's lap, almost.
Yeah,
and
it was so powerful that I basically got knocked over at the same time as you were headed toward my lap.
Right. Had he been standing, I might have knocked him over. If he'd have been any closer. Yeah, he visibly was like, whoa, you know. So I feel like that was a strong enough reaction that we could confidently refer to her as Molly.
So now here in September, we finally get a chance to follow up on Molly. And Shana brought along her newly created Zara the Zombie Doll from an event in the Mineral Springs Crystal Room.
I had literally just created Zara, just painted her. I have no idea of her origins before. But I figured, since she now is my new toy, I figured I would take her upstairs and see if anybody up there reacted to her in any way. So took her into the room, sat her down in a chair, and with a K2 meter to see if there was, see if anybody was coming, so we could see if anybody was coming. There was a low level of energy in the room already, according to the K2, but it was kind of calmed down a little bit. So we good to go and started a line of questioning, just trying to get to know Molly. And then I asked Molly if she liked dolls.
What do you think of the doll sitting over here? Do you like dolls at all?
Can you see the doll?
Oh, God, I can actually see the doll.
Pretty sure the camera is not catching this, but the area around it, like shimmer.
Yeah,
a little bit, like
it's from the heat waves.
That's what I was seeing in between me and the doll.
Really?
So I didn't know if it was just my eyes playing tricks on me, or...
It's not hot enough for that to do the heat wave, mirage effect, all of that. That pegged out to 3, and now it's at 1. I saw it just boom. It's been flickering at 2, boom, went to 3, and now it's at 1. While we were sitting here talking about that right now.
Molly?
You hear this, Molly? Our EMF is gone. right here in the middle. You okay? What did you feel?
I don't know. It was just really sad. My throat started closing up.
Did you see anything, or was it just a feeling?
I didn't see anything.
Our EMF field is back.
Yeah, what was going on with the K2 meter up to that point, we had a low baseline within the room that was just about at a 3, if you are familiar with the lights on a K2 meter. And we'd put the K2 meter right there next to Zara, and after a little while, it just was flickering on the little 2 light. But then when we had all of this happen, well, you had the shimmer first.
Right. It's like whenever you have a campfire. Whenever you light a fire and the energy from the heat comes up and it makes everything kind of blurry, and that's what I started seeing in between me and the chair where Zara was sitting. I had never seen that before anywhere.
Well, that's what I noticed, that the K2 just suddenly spiked really hard, boom, like straight up to 3 after it just been, flickering, boom, went up to 3, and then boom, suddenly came all the way down to 1, where there's no EMF whatsoever right there, which shocked me. I'm like, what in the heck just happened to the K2? So I pick up the K2 and I'm trying to find the EMF field that we had just been seeing for about 15 minutes up there, and it was completely gone. And then as I'm doing this, trying to find the EMF field, I look up and Shauna's completely broke down crying.
And you said your throat.
My throat was like really tightening up, closing up, and then
That's gone now.
it's gone.
Did it relate at all, do you think, to what happened to you over there back in June?
I don't know, because I didn't feel sad then. It just shocked me more than anything. But I didn't feel any emotions of any kind. There was just a lot of things touching me.
So I don't know if there was some massive energy that manifested here, and this picked up on it, went to you, which would have nullified this because it would have disappeared from being over here and just hit you. I don't know. But it was like, as that happened, suddenly you were over here crying and feeling sad.
And all of a sudden, this wave of sadness just crashes into me, full force, full frontal, just boom. And I was crying, just literally sobbing. Now, I've had this happen in other places before, and it's usually really brief. This kind of hung around for a minute.
It reminded me a lot of that time on the Goldenrod where you just suddenly broke down. Shana, what's the matter? Hey, what's the matter?
I don't know.
Why is this it?
I don't know.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you, whose thoughts they were.
It's part of being an empath, though, right?
I, as an empath, seem to feel the emotions of people that have already passed on more than I do with people that are still amongst the living, unless it's just really blatantly obvious. So that's just the way it affects me. So it is still a mystery as to who Molly is, and maybe what her reaction was to this doll, if there's a story there.
And as far as the doll, Zara the Zombie Doll, do we believe she's haunted? Well, no, it was acting more as a trigger object in this instance. But we are taking precautions now that this has happened.
Zara stays out in the studio and not in the house.
Just in case. Thank you for watching Friday Night Ghost Frights. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, click that bell icon to get notifications of all of our upcoming videos, and check out our other paranormal videos off to the side. I'm Mike Ricksecker.
I'm Shana Wonkel.
Until next Friday night.